hope you are doing well, and I'm very excited about today because I have a very special and dear friend of mine, Neely, who is not only a person with a big heart, but she is also a very talented colleague and really incredible photographer, pet fashion photographer and pet photographer. And I'm so honored today for her to be with us. And thank you so much, Neely, for being here today. Yay!
Thank you for having me. I'm glad. We've been meaning to do this for months now.
I know, but you have been so busy. You know, people, they don't understand that running a rescue organization and, you know, also working, you know, having a full-time photography studio, sometimes it can be a little bit time consuming.
And I actually have another job on top of that too. So everything we do.
Oh my God.
Yeah, everything we do for the rescue is all volunteer work. We don't get paid for it. It's not our job. So everything we do is outside of our full-time job. And then I do photography on the side of all of that.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
I admire you. That really, really special on how you do it and what you do. And you know, you know, I was amazed because I knew, you know, for the photography you do. And, you know, we have friends on Instagram. Of course, we had you know, I had the honor to meet multiple times in person and, you know, live stream while you are, you know, taking the pictures. And then one day, like, I didn't know you have a rescue, and I just kept seeing your beautiful, you know, furry babies. And then, you know, you said, you know, I have, but either way, I have a rescue. I'm like, how do you do that? Because this is, you know, quite a bit of, you know, journey. And I just really, you have to tell us, like, when did you decide, you know, I'm just going also to start live streaming. So when did you decide to open the rescue? Because like you decided and you started your journey. So when did it happen?
I mean, I've been rescuing animals since I was 4 years old. When I was I always, yeah, my other dog passed away when I was in junior high, and you know, my mom said no more right now, so I ended up adopting a cat. I was in high school and I came home with a cat one day. I'm like, we have a cat now, because I knew going to college I wouldn't be able to take care of a dog, but I always wanted another dog. So when I was in graduate school, I finally knew I had the time. So I was looking for a Shih Tzu, and I stumbled upon this 10-year-old, old, crusty, sad-looking bulldog that had been in rescue for ages, and nobody wanted her because she was so old and so ugly. And I immediately fell in love with her. And I adopted her and started dressing her up, and just with love and care. She was the most beautiful dog. And that was when I started getting involved in rescue. And that was back in like 2009. That was when I officially started really getting involved with rescue. And I ended up getting on the board of directors for a rescue in Florida. And then just helping out, you know, there's tons of bulldog rescues in Florida, all over the country. And then when I moved to Indianapolis, about 5 years ago, I volunteered with a rescue here, and I also volunteered with Illinois English Bulldog Rescue.
Wow.
And then finally, we were like, there's just so many that need help. We ended up starting our own rescue. And so
Wow.
Hoosier Bulldog Rescue was born in 2017.
Wow, this is incredible. And I want to thank you for what you do, because people, they don't realize it. Like, yes, you're donating your time, but I also know, like, being on the board of my local photography guild, you know, when you are really involved, that's a lot of meetings, a lot of time, a lot of effort. You know, you probably also have fosters. There are a lot of things behind the scenes. People are not aware that, you know, you as, you know, being a part of rescue organization, being on the board of it, creating it, it takes a lot.
It does, you know, and we have, we're a very small rescue as well. So, you know, there's 2 or 3 of us that do the majority of things. And then we have a lot of volunteers that help out, and we have a lot of fosters. But, you know, there's the website, there's social media, you know, there's all those things that, you know, paying all the bills every month for vet care, medication, lab work, all of that. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of behind the scenes. Screening, a lot of time goes into screening applicants. Every application that we get needs to be screened. We take a lot of time to talk with them on the phone, because bulldogs are a unique breed. They have a lot of special care needed. So we take a lot of time to make sure people are aware of what goes into caring for a bulldog, which I think is why people are surprised there's so many in rescue. And I do think it's because pet stores and a lot of breeders who are just in it for money or to have the cute puppies, and not really for the betterment of the breed, they don't really take the time to make sure that you know what you're doing and that you know how to care for a bulldog. And so I think people get them and then realize, wow, this is a lot of work, a lot more work than your average dog. They're not prepared for it. And so then, the dogs get passed around. We see them all the time being given away or for sale on Facebook. And by the time they get to us, they usually need quite a bit of medical care to kind of get back on track. So
it's incredible for the story you are telling me, and it's so interesting because, like I photograph so many bulldogs, and they are unique breed, but they're so cute. And every time when you photograph and then you actually photograph sometimes with them, they're really good kids.
They are. And I tell people it's like having a perpetual toddler forever. I have more baby wipes than my friends who have actual babies. You have to clean all their wrinkles. You have to wipe their bottom and their tails. And they, everybody's, the joke is, well, I have dogs because kids don't talk back to me. No. If you have a bulldog, English or French, they will talk back to you for sure.
I love it. It's so cute.
And we take in a lot of really difficult medical cases. Duke here, his dad was a senior citizen who, unfortunately, he himself did not have the care he needed, and family wasn't checking in on him. And he got to the point where he couldn't take care of himself, let alone his dog. So when he went into an assisted living nursing home facility, his dog was taken to the shelter. And that's when we were able to step in, and he ended up having untreated Cushing's. Wow. He had hair loss, just tons. It was pretty gross. The other volunteer who was with me when we picked him up, we're bathing him, and there's a lot of like gagging noises happening as we just cleaned out his ears and his skin. But you can see, within just the first day, he looked so much better with just basic care that this older gentleman simply couldn't provide, and I think that also, of course, we take in the dogs and we fix them up, we rehabilitate them, rehome them, but I think we do a lot more than just that. And this was kind of an eye-opener that we were able to kind of spread awareness that if there's a senior citizen living in your community, if you haven't checked in on your own grandma in a while, check in on them, make sure they're okay, make sure their pets are okay. Do they need anything? Because I think had someone done that, Duke wouldn't have been in as bad a shape as he was. But we ended up having him, we got his Cushing's under control, and he just passed away this year. But we had him for about 3 years, and he was already a senior. He had the best life. He hated all other animals. So we had to find him a foster where he was the only baby.
Oh my God, so cute.
That's the other thing is we definitely need foster homes that don't have any other pets, and that's really hard to find. So if you or someone doesn't have a pet right now, encourage them to foster. It's desperately needed. Oh, Mr. Wilson, I love him. He was actually found on the side of the road eating a deer carcass, trying to stay alive.
Wow.
He was loaded with parasites, so skinny. He had a spinal injury that was untreated, so he had a lot of difficulty walking. But you can look how good he looks in that second picture.
Yes, really incredible what you have done. That's really, thank you so much. And I hope with this video, friends, we bring awareness to each of you. And as we know, Petpix has a lot of following from all around the world. And I would say sometimes some of you friends, you may have kids, and those kids may want a pet. Well, if you're not ready to have a pet, maybe consider fostering temporarily to make your child happy, but the most important to save a fur baby's life, which is really
And
incredible.
even if you can't foster, a lot of local shelters are now doing things like field trip days. And I can't remember what, there's a couple other names for them, but basically you get to go in, take a dog out of the shelter, take them out, take them to the park, take them to the pet store, take them to get an ice cream cone at McDonald's, and then you take them back to the shelter. But you know, it lets you take one, it gets them out of the shelter environment. You see their personality outside of the shelter, because we all know that's a scary place, and the behavior of an animal in a shelter is not always representative of what it is outside of the shelter in a home. But also then you get to share these pictures to your social media. Somebody sees it, somebody else sees it, they share it. You know, you could be helping find this dog a home simply by taking them out for an ice cream cone.
I love it. I love it. I think that's great. So friends, you heard, you know, there is alternative ways of how, you know, you can continue helping and the people you love around you as well. So I really was very impressed by this, you know, writing 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months rule of adopting a rescue dog. So can you tell a little more to people about this, please? Because I think it's a really very important point.
It is, because, you know, sometimes you adopt a dog and they just fit right in. It's like they've always been there. We recently adopted out Elvis, and for the most part, it felt like he had always been here. It was just the right fit. Now, that being said, they had 3 other dogs. One dog immediately, it was like they've been best friends their whole life. The other dog took a while to warm up to. And then the third dog, it took a few months for them to, and they're still working on socializing, but they're playing more, they're interacting more. They were caught snuggling the other day. So, you know, sometimes it is a fairy tale ending right off the bat. But the reality is you have to put yourself in the situation of the rescue dog. If you were taken from your family, and maybe you went straight into another family, maybe you went to the shelter first, maybe you got passed around from family to family, but every time, you know, that is a traumatic event. And there's a lot of, even if you are providing all the love, all the support, it's still a scary, traumatic thing to be thrown into a brand new family with people you don't know. So the first 3 days, they could be scared, they could be timid, or they could be just eating up the attention and okay with everything because of that adrenaline of getting into the new home. So those first few days are not necessarily representative of how it's going to be. And so we always encourage people to take it slow. We talk a lot about slow introductions with other dogs in the home. We always do meet and greets first to kind of model how to introduce them outside in a neutral area. But then, you know, as those days turn into weeks, they start to realize, okay, I'm not leaving here. I'm not going somewhere else. Maybe this is my home now. And they start to kind of settle in. But sometimes it takes several months, and every dog is different. So the rule of 3 is just a guideline. My first bulldog, it took 6 months before she gave me a kiss.
Oh, wow.
You know, it takes them a while to really know that this is my home. This is my family. I'm safe. I'm safe now. So we really encourage people to not throw in the towel right away. If it's a little rocky at first, you know, reach out to us. We do a lot with training as well, positive-based, fear-free training, but give it a chance. It takes more than a couple of days for them to feel comfortable with you and safe with you and feel like a part of the family.
I love it. Wow, I love it. And okay, I see here people were giving some feedback. Give me 1 second. That's pretty incredible of what you are, you know, saying and sharing with everyone. And I think that it definitely makes, you know, a lot of sense, and it's really great. And just, I'm going to share the next slide here. And I'm so grateful to you for, you know, being with us today and really like kind of teaching us about all of those wonderful things, because it's really amazing, you know, really spectacular. And then let me just see here we have another slide. Okay, so here, friends, you can see.
So because we are a nonprofit, we are a 501c3, we don't, there are grants available. It takes a lot to write up for a grant and get approved for a grant. We've never gotten a grant. If anybody out there is really great at grant writing and wants to volunteer their time, let me know. But for the most part, we get all of our income, all of our donations from individual people, and a lot of companies do matching programs. So check with your company that you work for. Sometimes if you donate, you show them proof of donation, they'll match it. There's some different programs out there. So we recently had, especially at the end of the year, people do that a lot, but we do a lot of different events like Paint Your Pet. A local artist you send in the photo, the local artist sketches it out, and then he teaches you how to paint, and they look phenomenal. I mean, they look like professional photos, all of them, that day. So we're definitely going to do that again. We've done that a few different times. We do, so at different events, I'll do photography. So just like a $10 donation, we'll get a portrait just at our event, whether it's at a pet store, a local pet store, or something like that. We do kissing booths. I think I also sent you a picture of Hermione in the kissing booth. So for $1, you get to kiss a bulldog. And Hermione has actually been voted the best kisser.
So cute. I can hear the Christmas.
And so every Christmas, Carolina Pet Pantry, my friend Courtney, she also runs a Bulldog Rescue in North Carolina, Bullies to the Rescue. She owns a holistic pet food store there. And so for over a decade, I think this will be the 12th year, I think we've done a Secret Santa exchange. And so she coordinates all of it. You buy everything through her store and she ships it out, like you're matched with a person, and then we all open it the same day, and it's all over the country. It doesn't have to just be bulldogs. Any dog can participate. But she has only really healthy things in her store, quality products. But she also started doing buy a box for a rescue. So every year people will purchase a box, a Secret Santa box, and send it to a rescue. And we have always gotten enough boxes for every single dog in our rescue. So I think this last Christmas, we had either 13 or 17 dogs. And you can see Hermione. Because we do have a lot of dogs that have certain medical issues. So some of them might be allergic to fish. Some of them like toys, but not treats. Some of them don't really know what to do with toys, so they prefer treats. So I open all the boxes and I coordinate what, each dog can have. So I kind of tailor it to each foster dog. But I had a lot of help this year between Roscoe, Garth, and Hermione. I think I was putting toys back in boxes more. It took me 3 times longer to do it because they kept pulling everything out. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, we're super grateful that every dog can have a Christmas. So then all the fosters will take pictures and videos and send it to us of their foster opening the present. It's really special.
Wow, that's really special. And thank you so much. Maybe one we should do a joint podcast of you and your friends. I think that would be really good.
And so another thing that makes us a little bit different, we are a holistic rescue. So when Hermione, and you've seen Hermione, I bring her to all the events. She's actually our permanent foster. She came in with severe IBD since birth. She was a mess. We almost lost her so many times the first couple of years, but she also had Demodex mange. And so the typical treatment is basically a neurotoxin, and we won't do that. So we treat everything holistically. And I mean, look at her now. It definitely works. People don't believe that holistic medicine can work, but it can. It definitely can. So she's doing really well now. But yeah, she was a mess when she first came in.
Amazing. And so those are your social media. You can tell a little more where people can find everything.
Yeah, so we're on Facebook as well as Instagram. So I do most of our social media. I try to put up posts, at least one post every day. And really it's most of our posts, you get to know the dog's personality through our social media. And so I've really started encouraging people. Everything we put on social media, we would put on our website, and honestly, it's just things have been so busy right now. It's been hard to keep up with that. So I've kind of put on our website, like, please just follow us on social media. You really get to know the dog's personalities as we post pictures of them and their daily shenanigans. But we're on Facebook and Instagram. We're also on Twitter, but I have to preface this with, I do not know how to use Twitter. I put up a tweet. If you talk to me on there, I don't know how to respond. So we put up tweets, but that's all I can do. I don't get it. I don't know how to use that.
That's really amazing. And, you know, people are saying that you are doing amazing. And I want to say also hi to everyone. By the way, we have hi, dear friends. We have Leanne from Australia currently watching us on Instagram. And friends, I'm so glad. Thank you so much to everyone who is watching on Facebook. Sorry, it's hard to showcase and share and do a couple of things at the same time, but we appreciate you. And again, I'm a true believer that people like Neely and her team, and each of you, we are born with a purpose, not only to enjoy life, not only to give love and passion and care to our loved ones, 2 legs and 4 legs, but also to help our other furry babies in need. And, you know, to me, this was actually very important because a lot of times people may talk a little more about smaller breeds. You know, and, you know, yes, hi, yeah, Australia, woo-hoo, hi to Australia, you know, but we also need to encourage and talk more about bigger, you know, fur babies. And I also actually want to share, because a lot of Petpix Academy followers love to dress up their babies. You dress up your personal babies really nice. The last time it was for the contest with and then they were dressed up with the coffee outfits,
coffee hats on.
The coffee.
Yeah, their coffee cups with hats. Yeah, I mean, they're usually, and you know what, every dog is the same. You have to start slowly and work up to them, but I've been dressing all of my dogs since I got them. So, you know, and actually this coming May, Nanette with Shenanigans is making Neville, who's 79 pounds. He's on a diet. He was 77, he went on a diet, and now he's 79. much like my diet. But she's making him a phenomenal outfit for international at G Girls Cotillion. So you can definitely dress them up. I've had a lot of, one of my previous dogs was a therapy dog. Champ was a therapy dog. Charles was a therapy dog. You know, when I pulled out outfits, they saw that as we get to go, we're going somewhere where we're going to get tons of attention. So they loved to be dressed up. They really did. And you know what, if your dog doesn't like being dressed up, you can do a bandana, a bow tie. There's so many people who are doing phenomenal just bow ties and bandanas, and they're so cute. We have a ton of bow ties from Jan Ben with C Mimi.
Yes,
there's lots of options.
It's amazing. It's amazing. You know,
it's very cold here, so they just have their shirts on right now.
But they're smart kids. They know that their mama will take care of them very, very well. And I just want, before we are done, you being a photographer and specializing in pet photography, what is your takeaway of the importance of people to continue taking pictures of their fur babies?
You know, once they're gone, the memories you have. So Champ, who's the big portrait here, Girl was my first bulldog, and then I fostered Champ. And then later adopted him. Champ was used as bait in a dog fighting ring in Miami. And he went on to become a therapy dog and, you know, the face of bullies against bullying. You know, I have so many photos of him, and also sadly, I have so many photos of him that were like from my BlackBerry. So they're like all pixelated and not very good. So I really value now having the nice photos of my dogs, the professional portraits of my dogs, and photos of me. You know, I spend a lot of time behind the camera too. Having photos of you with your dog, I mean, it's just priceless. It really is. And I think you don't realize that until they are gone, and they're only with us for a short time. So it's really special to be able to have that. And we take in a lot of seniors and hospice cases. So I tend to take 1 million photos because I know we have an unusually short time with them, which, you know, I know it's hard to do that. It's hard to take in the seniors and the hospice ones, but what you get from it is just, there's nothing like it. They're so
Thank
special.
you. Your inspiration. So friends, I'm hearing, don't be afraid, from two professional photographers. We encourage you to continue taking pictures, even if it's with your phone. Just keep doing it.
They don't even have to be, they don't all have to be professional photos. You don't have to look your best. But I tell you what, even the days that you don't feel your best, you take a photo with your dog. That is a photo that you're going to have, and you're going to look back on it, and you're not going to think, wow, I wish I had put eyeliner on. It's the memory you have of your dog. So don't be afraid to get in the photo with them.
I love it. Thank you so much. I couldn't say myself any better. I tell people there are two reasons for pictures. There are pictures to showcase to the world, only if you choose so. And there are pictures for your own heart and soul. And, like you, my Sundays when I look very casual, no makeup, fussy jeans and t-shirt. Well, those are the moments when I can see, everyone around me like, so casual, but so beautiful. And I just want to preserve that moment. And like you, I would take the picture. Of course, I'm not going to show it to the world, but it's for us. We take pictures for us. Yeah. So to God, it's very, very important. I want to thank you very much for being with us today. And is there anything else you'd like to tell people?
I know a lot of people think that there's only a couple of ways to help rescue, whether it's financially donating or fostering or adopting. And if you aren't able to do those things, I know, especially right now, money can be tight. Not everybody can take in another dog into their home. That's completely understandable. There are so many other ways to help. And some of it is simply, so many rescues are on social media. Like their pages, share their posts. The more you share, then other people share, and you might help a dog find a home just by sharing on social media. So we really appreciate when people interact with our posts. Every time you interact with a post, it boosts it so other people see it. And I know I've been wanting to focus more on our social media to boost, but they all take up my time. So the more you can interact with posts and share it, it's really appreciated. And then a lot of other rescues, we do, auctions. G-Girl always has auctions for canine rescue. If you have something, if you have a statue of a dog that you're like, oh, I don't really need it anymore, instead of taking it to the thrift store, donate it to a rescue. We can auction it off. And a lot of times people will pay more than what it's worth because they know the money is going to rescue. So, you can donate those kind of things as well.
I think it's a wonderful recommendation. And it's interesting, actually, yesterday, a friend of mine, she used to live in Florida. So she shared someone's post about the dog, doggies who are looking like right away for home. Mm-hmm. I share it. And then somebody else went and shared it. And even that lady was from New York. And I'm like, that's the beauty of it, is spread the word, because you never know where the people might need, or they maybe know other people who can share it too. And this is how we spread the love.
Yeah. The internet has become amazing, social media, with being able to connect us everywhere. And we've taken in dogs from Connecticut. Actually, Vinny is from Rhode Island, Connecticut. Cooper was from Louisiana. He was scheduled to be euthanized that day, and somebody shared his picture with us, and I'm like, we'll figure it out. So we ended up setting up a transport train, and 3 different people drove him from Louisiana up to Indianapolis.
Amazing.
It helps. It really does. Sharing helps. You never know.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. By the way, tag me when you post pictures. Once in a while, don't forget to tag me, as Petpix in Instagram, and you can tag me as Vasi Simon on Facebook. Okay. So, because I think it's important, for people to keep seeing, and I know that you'll be back, we'll be doing a lot of things in the future. Mm-hmm. And then can you just tell people, in case they live in your area and they need a photographer, a good pet photographer, can you tell them your social media, or your website, how they can find you?
Yeah, my website is neelywaringphotography.com, NeelyWaring. Waring was my maiden name. I kept it for my photography. So yeah, that's my basic website. And then most of my social media posts are either on my personal page, or I have a photography page. I don't actually update it anymore. Everything is either the rescue or on my page. It's too much.
It is too much. People, they don't understand. Even being a photographer, I mean, and everything else, I mean, we have to take the pictures. People ask me, so Vasi, why you do, like, why this is what you do? And I'm like, you have to understand, before we meet with people, we need to charge batteries. We need to drive the location or prep our studio. Then we do the session. We have to download the pictures, show them to the people, then clean up the pictures, make them look their best, and then everything else. So by the time you're done, even if you think, oh, I got 5 pictures, but that can be 10 hours total. And so that's what is the difference. We still encourage you continue taking phone pictures. I mean, that's why Petpix was created, but go to professional photographer like, Neely, me, or somebody else in your area. At least go once to twice a pet life, and again, we try to keep things positive. I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, the oldest fur baby, kitty cat and a doggy were 19. Wow. 19 years old, doggy and kitty cat I photographed in my career. I heard one for 23. And so everything is possible. Friends, let's stay positive, but we are encouraging you, because I'm sure it happened to you the same just before we are done. I had this lady last year in October. She called me, she came to me in the studio, she brought me a whole album with over 100 pictures, 4x6. For people in other countries, the smallest size picture, friends. She said, Vasi, pick one to create an art piece. I never went to a professional photographer, don't have anything really presentable to print on the wall. That was a struggle. So look at these 100 pictures. I found one where I had to remove chairs and stuff and end up digitally painting it, because that was the only way to save the picture. I'm like, they are nice, but not what we would like to have. So I had to create it, the same story with you. So friends, please don't wait to the last. Yes.
You know what? At least she had those pictures. She had something.
Gratefully, because there are people like me. You don't know that, but I don't have a picture of my doggy when I was growing up. My mom never took a picture. And so hopefully there are not any more people like me in this world. But I said, nobody is going to be like me. And I asked my mom, why you never took pictures of our doggies? She said, I was too busy raising you, taking pictures of your sister. I just never thought of it. I'm like, great. So now I found a picture of I photograph of a brown Doberman, which looks very similar, as much as I can remember, because I was a teenager. And that's what I have. But anyway, thank you very, very much. So friends, again, all the information will be below. It doesn't matter. By the way, hi, we have also Leon, the pom-pom from Canada, watching us now on Instagram. Hi, sweetie, so nice to see you. So friends, all the information of Neely and the rescue organization will be below in the description. It doesn't matter if you're watching this on Facebook, Instagram, Petpix Academy, YouTube, or listening to our podcast. Just please check it out, share, and
if you have any questions, part of course, we take in dogs, we rehabilitate them, rehome them, but I think so much more than that is we want to share information about training and nutrition and holistic medicine and things like that. So if you ever have any questions about anything like that, part of what we want to do is be able to help dogs stay in their homes and not come into rescue. And sometimes that's a matter of helping somebody figure out, I need to change this in their diet or change this, the way I'm training them to have a better relationship. So we really also want to be able to keep dogs in their homes and not come into rescue. So if you ever have any questions, even outside of that, we're always available to just share our own experiences or refer you to some of the resources that we use. So
this is fantastic. Thank you so much, Neely. Thank you. I personally feel now very educated and honestly very excited, because today we did something very special. We told the stories of the beautiful breed bulldogs and the larger, size doggies, that, it doesn't matter the size, it doesn't matter the breed. Each of your friends can make a difference. and holistic way sometimes can be a good way. And let's keep our babies at home or volunteer. Oh my God, in a different way. Look at them. Adorable. And also, friends, you don't know, but Neely also has a bird, which is in the other room.
You probably
I love
heard her talking. She yells.
No, I love it.
And she knows all their barks. So if one of them barks in the other room, she'll tell that specific dog to be quiet.
A question: do you dress your bird?
We used to dress her all the time, and we got so busy with the dogs and rescue. So we just started it again, getting her dressed up. Gina just made her a little crown. She actually, her hatch day is coming up, so we're having an Instagram party for her, asking all the other dogs to dress up in feathers to celebrate.
Share this with me.
Okay.
Once you have all the info, share so I can share on Petpix.
Okay.
Because I think it's important to celebrate together. I told you, don't forget. And if you have friends, it doesn't matter where you're watching. Petpix, it's your best friend in a way that we always will highlight your event. We will celebrate with you, of course, as much as we can. Don't forget, let's spread the love on a global level, because that's what it is. Again, doesn't matter. Do you live in US, where you were born, where currently you live, even do you speak good English, bad English? Who cares? What the most important? Together, we need to continue, bringing the voice of, 2 legs, 4 legs, birds and, bunnies and, doggies and kitty cats, all these, animals, they need love. So together, I know we can do it. So thank you so much, Neely. Thank you. It has been a pleasure today. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will see you soon. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye. Oh, thank you. And thank